WDWNT, the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news. This is ParksCenter. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another edition of ParksCenter. Joining me on tonight's show, we have Chris.
Hello, everyone.
Jill.
Hello.
Rob.
Howdy.
And Tyler.
Tivaco.
Oh,
Somebody's got to do it.
Gosh, at this point, Pizza hasn't been on in a while. We'll have to drag him back in and make him do it for once. Anyways, let's go ahead and dig into our news stories tonight. So first up, we have a little bit of an update to a story that we had last week on Rafiki's Planet Watch. We originally said that it was going to be closing permanently. I believe October 20th is the date, yes. And Disney has since clarified that it will be reopening in spring of next year. I don't think we have an exact date on when next year. But just to be clear, this was not a rumor. This was not something that we heard through the grapevine. This was something that Disney put out in a press release and then came back and clarified further that it will not be closed permanently, just a very long refurb. I don't know how much I buy that this was the original plan. I think this might have been a bit of a reaction to the fan community, but I don't know for sure.
Disney was like, they got to stop talking about that Zootopia rumor.
I wouldn't be upset.
You would be upset?
I wouldn't be upset. Sorry. No, I would not be the least bit upset.
That's the thing. I feel like this is probably corporate miscommunication. Like somebody was like, oh, right, it's closing. And they kind of didn't read the whole email that it was only closing temporarily. I feel like that's plausible in this situation because I don't think there was enough of an outcry from the fan community about Planet Watch. I think a lot of people feel like Planet Watch could offer more than it does, whether within the existing Planet Watch or just in that piece of property with Planet Watch removed and something else like Zootopia installed. But I think at the very least, they're going to get rid of Doc McStuffins. I hope they're going to get rid of Doc McStuffins because A, the show is no longer on. And B, I feel like the introduction of Doc McStuffins kind of really infantilized Planet Watch a little bit too much. It was already very younger child oriented. And I think Doc McStuffins just sort of cemented that reputation that, oh, it's just a place you take little kids, almost like Playland at McDonald's. And it wasn't a place for, the average guest with older children or just adults to go because there's nothing there for them. So I would, and it's a petting zoo. I can't imagine riding that train all the way with my kid and then being like, oh, I came all this way for a petting zoo. So I'm really hoping that the refurb keeps the good stuff, which is, the veterinary section and the conservation station stuff, and gets rid of the really kiddie stuff and brings in some better, more universally appealing.
can I jump in and just say, I don't know how many of y'all have kids, but I have kids. And when they were little, we used to take them there. And I'm not sure that there's a ton of stuff at Animal Kingdom that little kids can really relate to and interact with like you have in the other parks. So it was really cool to be able to take them there. And then I think on top of that, it really has the spirit of the original Animal Kingdom where you can go behind the scenes and conservation and all that stuff. So I would agree with you that Doc McStuffins kind of cheapened it, but in the same way that maybe Zootopia would change the scope of what was originally the vision of Animal Kingdom and animals and protection and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what they end up doing with this space. Moving from one animal-based construction project to another. These write themselves, I swear. So work is now underway on the entrance to the new Ratatouille area inside of France over at Epcot. So we've got a great photo report of this up on the website. It's kind of impressive to see. I mean, you can see how they've got some of the work going around the Skyway construction as well. But it's going to be interesting to see what they end up doing with this space. What do people think about this? I believe somebody here wanted to talk about this a bit.
It's going to get pretty bottlenecky within that area, but I think it's kind of like Avatar Land, where it's sort of the rest of the land is kind of set up to act as one giant lineup for the major attraction that's going to be in that area. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think it's going to be great to have an expanded France Pavilion, actually, though. But yeah, it's pretty much going to be one giant lineup, right?
I find it hard to conceptually compare the France Pavilion with Pandora.
Yeah,
but that's just me. Yeah, it's a bottleneck. Sure, it's kind of a dead end. We've had some of those in studios in recent years with all of that construction, so we have experience showing that doesn't always end well. But I think it will at least be neat that we're getting to see back farther into the pavilion than we could before, and see what that's going to look like. I'm definitely excited for more in World Showcase, whether here or anywhere else.
Yeah, I agree. I really need to see something more in World Showcase. I mean, I love all the stuff they really do already with the festivals and the cultures and things. But I think attractions. I was looking through some old stuff about the Rhine River attraction that never happened, and the Japan attraction that never happened. And it's just really nice to see something coming in. My thing though, and I don't know what you guys think, is like the gondola coming down right over it. That feels like it's going to be a really tough place for them to cover up all the ugly parts as they're building it. I mean, I don't know what you think.
I think the gondola is going to be an issue with that in general.
Yeah.
I'm just excited that they're bringing in something like this without having to remove anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
whatever fans of Universe of Energy, there was an uproar, even though the proposed ride seems amazing. Losing Maelstrom, even though they brought in something equally amazing. It's nice to have
Watch that talk over there, Chris.
Yeah. Be careful what show you're on here. That's.
It seems when you're not subtracting anything that you can't help but have a net positive.
I think it's interesting where the next big thing in Epcot is going to be right next to International Gateway, especially now that there's another transportation system that's taking people there. Sorry, do I have to explain what International Gateway is?
No. But you're right, Tyler. And the other thing is, the other rumor is that they're putting the Mary Poppins ride into UK, which is just on the other side of International Gateway. So both of the new rides we've heard discussed are literally right on either side of International Gateway, which maybe is intentional because they know they're going to get more traffic in that way.
Or Guardians at the front.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Moving from one rat that enjoys cooking to another rat that enjoys cooking. This show, so easy. Pizza Rizzo at Disney's Hollywood Studios has gone seasonal on us. This is, if you're not familiar with the area, it's in that Muppets courtyard area that's feels kind of endangered and encroached upon by Star Wars land because it's stuck right between Star Tours and where all the construction is. And based on what I've heard, the pizza here isn't exactly a massive loss, but it might be a bit of a sign of things to come, really, that we're sending this seasonal, that Muppet Vision really hasn't seen much love in a while. Should I be scared?
I think it's the opposite. When we just went, there was pretty full theaters for Muppets. It's when there was Grand Avenue.
Because there's nothing else to do in the park.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's just, can you scroll down on the article too? To that comment, that awesome comment someone left?
Oh,
where they're seasonal is Disney speak for, a dog is going to go live on a farm.
Aww.
And it kind of is we're going to talk about Stitch, but it's just bizarre that they sort of threw some money at this place to redo it as Muppets, and then there's a significant lack of sort of Muppets theming there compared to what the ride has with sight gags and stuff.
Yeah.
And then now they're putting it into seasonal operation until Star Wars Land opens.
I feel like we should all stop talking about Muppet Vision, because if no one mentions it, maybe Disney will forget about it and not touch it.
The curse of
it continues running through power outages. Isn't that what happened? Like I seem to remember there was some power outage at studios recently, and
Yeah.
like everything was down except Muppet Vision. Like
That was also bizarre.
you can't kill it. It's just stuck there forever.
Is it possible that it's going seasonal so they can add more theming to it?
Oh, I wish I could believe you.
But
In this case, no, I don't think so. I think they're thinking we don't need this until Star Wars Land opens. Once that happens, we need this to sort of siphon off traffic. And then after things kind of get up and moving, then maybe we'll be able to shut it down like we really wanted to. I think they've wanted to shut this down all along and just need it to be able to be a counter service location in the park until they can get everything up and running that they want.
I'm curious how they're going to incorporate the ambient garlic smell into the Star Wars theming.
I'm sure there are plenty of places in the Outer Rim that smell like garlic or worse.
I think
Someone's just gonna lick their hand, touch the dirt, put it in their mouth, and say, garlic.
Yikes. So
It was a garlic planet.
I have a question about like the whole Grand Avenue thing. Seems like it was kind of an afterthought. Like they named it Muppets Courtyard after they got everything together, and then they renamed it. And the Grand Avenue thing seemed like it was like, again, it seemed like sort of an afterthought. I wonder if there were bigger plans, more immediate plans for that area for Muppets, and they just kind of backed off on it, went to the Grand Avenue plan, and because of that, there's this big gap between when they opened it and when they need it.
I would believe that. I would also believe that they're closing it just so that there are fewer places that you have to eat in the park, and you have to eat at the more highly priced options because they just price hiked everywhere else. So fountain and bottled drink, popcorn, pretzel, and all the other snack stuff has gone up massively in price. You can see the board here. But bottled sodas have risen up to $4.50 each, which is up from $4. All of the fountain sodas, like in the cups, also went up about 50 cents each. Water bottles went up 50 cents each. Pretzels have risen $1. Ice cream is up 75 cents. And churros are up a whopping $1.75. Now it's $6.25 per churro. This, because money.
I feel like Disney is instituting a carb tax. Like everything in there is like sugar and starch.
That's true.
I live outside of Philadelphia where we have the soda tax, so this is,
They didn't raise the price on water, did they?
No, they did. The bottled water is up 50 cents.
Okay, so then never mind. Withdrawn.
They're almost $6 there, and then nope, everything.
The first thought in my head is, wow, those dining plans people pre-purchased like months ago are now like more worth it because they're saving money.
Now a soda costs you a snack credit, isn't that right? I think on the sign it even says like that counts as a snack credit now. Like I feel like that's like I need to go get a drink and that takes up one of my dining plan snack credits. That's crazy to me.
I feel like I need a drink that's stronger than what I can get on that menu after those prices.
You could buy one at any other place outside of Disney World for the same price.
Yeah, a beer costs like the price of a bottled water within the parks.
I know where to get beers cheaper than bottled water in the park.
Do you think it's possible that that they're going to say it has something to do with the wage increase that's not going to happen until 2021? I mean, everything up until now has been Star Wars Land is why we're increasing stuff, and that's not open yet.
I don't think Disney would say that. I know people online have said that, but it's not just the wage increase. It's all of this stuff that they're building. It's theoretically we're getting new monorails. Like those don't come cheap. They're doing a ton of construction, a ton of updates. They're now refurbing Planet Watch. They're doing all this work. It's got to come out of somewhere. And I think they know like prices on the tickets are going up. So everything's going up.
Does anyone know historically if this is like the highest price it's ever been in the parks?
I'm
It's
going
got-
out on a limb and say yes. I'm not
Gotta be the-
certain of that, but I cannot imagine that it would be higher earlier and Disney would take the price down.
Well, it's easily the largest single increase that they've done on something like snacks. It would take a really poorly run company to try to recoup other expenses if they didn't think this was going to work. I mean, they're going to raise the price of tickets, raise the price of snacks. There's still going to be people in line for all of those things.
This is like someone playing. Honestly, it's like playing Planet Coaster. You know, like you need money to buy this attraction, so you up everything else by like 20,
It kind
30
of is.
cents in every food stall because people still need to buy food and drinks while they're in your park, and it kind of feels like that. Like this isn't the busiest time in construction that's ever happened in the parks. Like there was one point they were building all of Epcot, for example, and this is only like a few select attractions that are being like refurbed or rebuilt or something. Like that's the worst thing.
No, they built Toy Story Land. They're building Star Wars Land. They're adding attractions in pretty much every park. They're doing a lot. Like this is a pretty extensive period of growth for them. This isn't just a blip.
That's true, but I mean, there was the entirety of Animal Kingdom in recent history.
Fair enough.
That was a massive.
I feel like Epcot's a little different. That was, money was not kind of worth the same back in the early 80s that it is now, where it wasn't about corporate greed in the early 80s the way it is now.
People would have complained that bottled water was like $1 back then.
They didn't drink bottled water in 1982.
Oh, that's true as well.
And to complain
We
about
got
it,
it from the tap and we liked it.
you have to mail a letter to your friends.
Right.
Oh gosh. So speaking of old timey things, let's talk about the Edison. Y'all making it easy on me this week. So the Edison has announced a Nightmare Before Christmas Halloween soiree. This seems interesting. I don't quite know how I feel about this yet. But it is invited to be you're invited to arrive in costume for a Nightmare Before Christmas celebration. This year specifically being their 25th anniversary. There's going to be live music, a costume contest, some giveaways, some cocktails, of course.
Stilt
full
walk.
Food and beverage menu will be around. Yeah, there's stilt walk. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's just going to be like a Jack Skellington character, which is going to be pretty daggone cool. But I don't know how I feel about this, given the ticket price is $85.
Oh.
And if I'm not mistaken, you're still going to need to pay for additional food and beverage. Like there is an included cocktail, the welcome cocktail, but I don't think there's anything else included in that. I'm not sure though.
I think this is awesome. I'm so excited that Disney is doing an adult event. I'm sad it's only one night. I'm sad I can't be there, but I have been wanting Disney to do something for adults at night since Pleasure Island closed, and they're finally doing something, and I would pay the $80 hands down to go to this if I could. This is like an untapped demographic, and I'm so hopeful that this goes well and people love it so that they decide it's worth it to do more events like this.
I agree with Jill. It does sound like the people who would go to it would really enjoy it. I'm confused why the Edison was the oh, who am I kidding? It's because they need to bring people to the Edison, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
they needed the traffic.
There aren't that many venues that are a big enough size.
It does have a pretty good space, like event spacey kind of thing. I mean,
yeah, it's also got this kind of tangentially like creepy vibe that you really don't need to try hard to elicit. Like,
I'm confused if adults want to see stilt walkers, but like you said, it might be a Jack Skellington, which would be really cool if they do bring in some like characters.
Yeah.
I
think there's.
Yeah, the theme is Nightmare Before Christmas. I agree with Jill. I think this is going to do well. It could probably do well on a random Wednesday, but to pick Halloween night to do it, adults are going to be looking for something to do at the resort. I think that'll be a success, and yeah, people will pay the $85 for it. You get hors d'oeuvres, trade past hors d'oeuvres, and the welcome cocktail. Yeah, if you've been to a wedding with my friends, you're not going to get many of those hors d'oeuvres. But it's just going to be the experience that people are paying for.
I mean, it's a Nightmare Before Christmas party in Disney World. That alone, like, I think you're totally right, Chris. This could work on a random Wednesday night. I think they might be able to charge maybe a little tiny bit less, but the fact that this is like a Halloween Nightmare Before Christmas masquerade is just, I don't know. I'm excited. I want it to do well. I want them to do more events like this.
And it's the anniversary of Nightmare, right? Like, that's what the graphics showed, too.
Yeah. Moving from there to all right, fine. The combo. So Stitch's Great Escape a while back was announced. I believe that it was going seasonal, but we have since found out that it is not seasonal. It will not return, and the attraction has already been at least partially dismantled. So this seems kind of sad, honestly. Like it's sad to see Skippy go. I never did this. It never was anything that was like what I wanted from a Disney attraction. Just the whole kind of menacing, scary atmosphere of the previous attraction still kind of hovering over it, and then followed by chili dogs. I've just never really was my thing, but at the same time, I'm kind of sad to see this go. It's something that a lot of people kind of enjoyed and have fond memories of. So
I'm glad we got that Ride Rehab episode out before it closed forever. This is incredible. Like, the whole history of from the moment we thought it was going to close forever, and then seasonal, then reopened again, then cast at the attraction said, "Thanks for riding the last time of Stitch," and then they're like, no, it's seasonal, and then now it's closed and it's already being taken down. It's amazing and fantastic to hear. No, like just the weird obscure history, not it's fantastic it's closing.
It is a very unique thing to see Disney now, not once but twice. Well, I guess maybe. Did like Stitch and Rafiki like make a deal? Because it seems like the two kind of just switched places here. It's like, I'm closed forever, you're seasonal. Oops, I just got the memo backwards.
Can we?
I was going to say, it's one of those things where I've not met too many people who love this attraction. You were talking about people like really love it. Everyone in my family has always been like, pass. I'm good. I don't need to get on this. My only thing is, what are they going to do with this space now? Because I think we've all talked about it before. Like, it's such a small space. The one in Disneyland was so small, they just made it a restaurant. Like, can they make something really cool? Is the Wreck-It Ralph VR thing going to come? Well, I mean, I hate, like Chris was talking about earlier, I hate to see them just like pull something for the sake of pulling it, or close something without opening something else up. But it would be really cool if we already had an announcement of what this could actually be. It would make it a little less sad to see it dark, but I don't think a lot of people are going to miss it, but I could be wrong. You guys could be huge fans, and I apologize.
I do like it. I do like its binaural audio, which nothing is left of that in the parks at all. Now that Sounds Dangerous is also gone. And that thing at Rafiki's is going to be closing too, probably. A little rainforest sound booth thing. But it's theater in the round is a hard space to use, or especially to like convert to something else. And I do not think Wreck-It Ralph belongs in Tomorrowland, considering Wreck-It Ralph takes place in the present and has nothing to do with the future of video games. It has to do with retro video games, if anything.
Right.
So you mean to tell me that would make more sense going into Epcot because it's more technology focused, and it might make more sense to bring Guardians of the Galaxy, a more future-based thing, into Tomorrowland?
Don't put those words in my mouth.
I'll
put them in my mouth. I'll go on record and say that would be.
I don't know. I'm still skeptical that it's going to be Wreck-It Ralph. I think there's too much other coincidence with other things that are happening in the parks that maybe this Wreck-It Ralph rumor just got conflated with something else. But I hope they do something good with the space. I would be really sad to see them turn it into a restaurant.
All right, Ben, make a transition out of that.
Yeah, Stitch to Soaring. How are you going to do it?
Let's do it.
Well, they both start with S.
I'll take things that start with S for 1,000.
You get a C+ on that one, man.
Going from one attraction that's closing to one attraction that's going to be opening. Hey, how about that?
Okay, that's good.
So Tokyo Disney Sea, we're going overseas for this one. Oh gosh, that was a pun. They've shown us some new artwork for the Soaring Fantastic Flight attraction. They actually bothered to buy the G. Like
It's
I love
soaring
the
in
fact.
Shanghai too.
Oh right, yes. I wonder if that's just a cultural thing. Like if
I
it's
think
that
it probably is. Like
that
maybe the
it's a
apostrophe.
non-English speakers.
the-
We don't want to go for the apostrophe to
Yeah.
be confusing.
Apostrophe
really
means an entirely different thing in most other languages. That's at best a Southern colloquialism here. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't translate.
fair. Going back to the article for a moment there, because I didn't actually get to the new concept art that we've gotten. It's kind of pretty. I like this. This is I believe the exterior of the building.
It looks beautiful.
And it really does look nice. Like like everything else in Tokyo Sea, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm really interested to see what this ends up being. I really hope that it's not just another copy of Soarin' Around the World. I mean, it's probably going to be a copy of the ride system, and I'm fine with that. But new film, please. That'd be cool.
It probably doesn't have to be, Ben. They're going to love it. The lines you get at Epcot are incredible. It's popular here at Disneyland too, but it's nothing like what yours is. And to put a brand new one in a new park, people are going to go just for that.
Yeah, and also I'm going to really quick correct myself. It will be new content. That is something that we do know at this point. My apologies for misstating, but where are we going to go? I guess is then the question. We've hit a lot of the big monuments in Soarin' Around the World. What are we going to do? Soarin' Around Japan?
Well, one
That
of
might
the
be kinda
things
cool.
they've said about this attraction is that I think the ride system is going to be pretty much the same, but the actual vehicle that you get into is supposed to be styled after like a Leonardo da Vinci Renaissance style flying machine, and that actually kind of blends with the facade of the building that they showed. Like it does feel very sort of like Italian Renaissance-y. So maybe that is some kind of clue to the content of the film, that they're kind of they're having this sort of Renaissance theme. There you go.
Yeah, that looks really cool.
Like there's
Looks
another
like
flying machine and hot air balloons. Maybe it's almost going to be maybe it's going to be a CG film.
Can you go back to the
Entirely?
logo, Ben?
Yeah, sure. 1 second. Wait,
Just the first time I saw that logo, I thought it was Fantastic Flights and Where to Find Them.
Oh gosh. Oh, it does look like that font, doesn't it? Oh goodness. All right. Well, that's a great way to end the show there. Thank you all for joining us on tonight's episode of ParksCenter. Let's see. If you are watching us live and you would like to get us in audio form, we do have a podcast version of the show available. If you go searching wherever fine podcasts are distributed for ParksCenter, you should be able to find us there. If you're listening to this in audio form and would like something visual, you can check us out at youtube.com/WDWNT. We record live on WDWN Tunes every Wednesday night, starting at 9 p.m. And on nights where we're not followed up by Around the Hub or some other show, like tonight is the case, we have a post show. It's streamed exclusively for our WIGS members. WIGS members, if you are sticking around for the post show and you've got something you'd like us to talk about, post it in chat. We talk about whatever you folks want, whether it's more detail about something we had on the show, something we missed during the past week, anything at all, completely up to you folks. If you are not a WIGS member and you would like to be, I highly recommend you check us out at patreon.com/WDWNT. And for as little as $2 a month, you can subscribe to that, get access to our post shows, see a Relate with Tom Corliss, and a bunch of other great content. And with that, I am going to sign off of this for the night. Again, if you are sticking around for the post show, please scroll down just a little bit and start that next video. And otherwise, we will see you folks next week.